there are beings that are in the class of, they are called Metatrons, especially in the book of Enoch, that are in between archangels and human beings. Even this angel that used to lead the children of Israel into the promised land, he is called a Metatrone angel. When these ones appear to you, even Enoch himself, he was transformed into that being. Now that sounds like the Transformers, if you've ever watched. And then you may think that that's where we are getting. No, that's where they got it from. An ability to transform and put on matter so that you can interact with those in the physical dimension that are not paying attention to spiritual visitations. So, who are these beings? If we disobey them, if we insult them, it's as good as Belshazzar, who ordered that they bring vessels from the house of God. He didn't understand the spirit of the things. By abusing the physical, the spirit of the furniture, the utensils, rose up against the entire nation, and his kingdom ended that same night. Failure to discern the spirit of an object, he transgressed. And the spirit of things in the palace fought against him. To think that we have a hand of God coming not to redeem the cups and the plates. God who allows you to steal something that has his spirit, and then he doesn't come to rescue those cups. They stay in your palace until you abuse them, and then a hand comes to announce an end to your kingdom. That is why most of the countries, they have been delisted. When nations are being discussed, certain nations are not touched. There are nations that have ceased to be nations because of a transgression against territorial spirits. He drank from the cups that had been separated, cups that Solomon had called God, invited God to enter into those objects. Now there was the Spirit of God in the cups. He said, bring those. When he touched that spirit, that day the kingdom ended. Are you aware of such beings in your country? That is the issue now. You must know people in your territory that should never be touched. If you still think people are the same, then that's why you are in a problem that you are in right now. Wow. I want our viewers to understand. I didn't want to get into all these things because this is midweek service, but I want people to hear me. You must raise your antenna and be able to pick, to identify, to distinguish the difference in things and in people and in places. We are here for an assignment. Do not underestimate God's investment on the earth. Not everything physical on the physical earth is physical. Because the earth itself is spiritual. Because the majority of it is spiritual. The composition, the biggest, greatest ingredient is the spirit. And the smallest ingredient is the physical. What made the visible is the invisible. What is the invisible? The word. He created worlds by the word. And the word produced the material, the physical. You can't completely extract the spiritual from the earth if the earth was formed by the Spirit. That is the ingredient. The Spirit is the ingredient that formulated the earth. Child of God, you must grow to a level where you know that you are above everything that God created. And God placed spirits into those things just so that you can control them and dominate them. The power you have over matter, the power you have over objects, the power you have over snakes and scorpions, that power is over their spirits. By controlling the spirit of a thing, ultimately, you control the thing. When we get to the solution, where we begin to solve the poverty of nations, then you understand that poverty is nothing but a spirit. So I want you to keep on following on this subject. We have to stop here for tonight. But I want you, pastors, to also prepare yourselves as well, and all of you watching me, prepare yourselves again. Sunday we have an outstanding session, a beautiful service, and I want you to be ready. And we are going to be ministering the grace of God, abundance to God's people. As long as you have been obedient, I'm telling you, my brother, my sister, you are in for the greatest surprise of your lifetime. Things that you have never even prayed for. God will do wild things that are beyond your imagination. Whatever you asked God for was small compared to what the Lord is about to do. And make sure that you are open up, ready to receive, because you will be receiving this coming Sunday. But for tonight, we have to let the people go. Thank you, pastors, for having me. Thank you.
My Father,